All right. I'm sure Camille will show up here shortly. Yep, for those of you who haven't met, welcome Andreas to the team. He officially starts with the memory team today. Be announced on the company call as well. So Andreas is joining the memory team. He's still going to continue being database maintainer, going to help me with the database team proposal. I'm trying to get that over the line and get it in one direction or another. But welcome to the team. Happy to have you here. Wish it was sooner.
Thanks for having me.
A few quick announcements if you haven't all seen it. So on-call coverage is something that's been worked on for a little while, and they just now removed the weekend on-call coverage. So I think like Alexi and Chinnu had signed up for some weekend shifts. It seems like you're probably off the hook now. So less coverage, less time we have to cover, so it means less rotations for on-call, which is great. Grant is going to be spending a lot of time with like reference architecture and some big customers in the near future, so he'll be pulled more and more away from the memory team. Won't mention customer names since this call is recorded, but he's going to be spending a lot of time on some of those bigger reference architectures. So just an announcement. Let's see. Everybody's probably seen all the emails for single source code migration. Some of the important dates are listed in the emails. MRs will be closed on the 22nd. Nothing. Can't do anything with them after that. So basically just have to migrate them if you have one open. And then in talking with Larissa, our PM, she had mentioned that the distribution team, when they have something that should be announced or is interesting enough to announce to customers, that they label the items with release post items so that they are included in the monthly milestone wrap up. So if you're working on something you think is noteworthy for the milestone notes, just add that release post items to the issue. And then once Larissa starts working on the release notes, then she'll pull those in and she'll ask questions if she's unsure what's going on. So any questions on any of that? All right. Any other topics anybody wants to talk about before we jump over to the issues that are on the milestone board? All right. See, Camille's in the dock. I'm sure he's going to join us here in a sec. So let's see. These are carryover from last week. Does anybody have any other details about the memory killer?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do know.
What's that?
So we almost finished that. Actually, I think we are now correcting the documentation and the name of the variables. And I don't know when it's gonna be merged, but it's like unlikely that today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe day after, but it's pretty much done. We just need some extra, like, I don't know, feedback from Stan and review of the end variables and documentation to finish that.
The release candidate will probably get selected on the 17th, right? So if we go past that, is that something we'd try to pick in?
In the worst case scenario on the production, it's not gonna be enabled by default. In the worst case scenario on the production, this change gonna land in the 1 week from now. So even though it will not land in the milestone, it's not gonna be enabled to the clients anyway, because we want to test that first. So in the worst case scenario, we're gonna enable that in a few days later.
All right. See, improved pipeline service. Was that something we needed to push over to 12.4 anyway?
Yes, this particular issue, yes, but there is this separate issue, calculate CI/CD status in Ruby, that I am now working on. I personally, like, I'm quite certain that I'm gonna finish that today, but is it gonna be merged? There is like, I don't know, 60 to 40% chance. So I am not fully certain that it's gonna land in this milestone, but I am trying my best.
Do you need any help with that from anybody else, or?
No, I just need more time. So probably like having 48 hours like day would help a lot. So if you have some time shifting like machine, I would happily use that.
Or just invent cloning Camille, then that'll solve that problem too. So, all right.
I'm not a sheep. Sorry, I will be not cloned.
How's the K6 testing work looking? I think that one's assigned to Nalia, right? Nope. Is that?
Oh yeah, I sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I've almost finished with it. Today I've pushed last changes to merge request, and I hope today we close it.
Awesome. Okay. And then license fork gem.
I just closed it because Jamie answered me and she told me that we shouldn't worry about that because it's MIT license already and doesn't require legal review. So just drop it.
All right. This is a new one for this milestone. So import, export to be of constant memory. Is that a 12.3 or do we need to push that out to 12.4?
So like we did not move on that one. Like we finished these two other items with Alexi on the export side, but like we didn't have time to continue on getting like the further improvements that are linked.
Okay. So on the Sidekick memory killer, that's kind of turned into a general issue. We'll leave it open until the one listed below 227070, and my mouse has decided to stop working. Is this one? That one's already been moved to 12.4. So.
Not really. I think that what we are right now doing with Chinnu, we're gonna close this issue with like what we are doing with Chinnu. We're just gonna improve the memory killer to be like more flexible. And this issue that you linked, it kind of shows like further improvements to improve import-export architecture in general.
Well,
which is kind of disconnected from the Sidekick memory killer, which was, in some very special circumstances, it's more aggressive, but like we're gonna have a mechanism to make it less aggressive now.
Where's the MR for this one? It's still open. It's not related to the issue. That's why I was linking to the new one. There it is. Nope.
So like initially we thought that like we could. Is this issue? Let me check. I'm quite confused now. Okay, so yes, I think that like we're gonna close to 7700 with like what Chinnu is right now working on.
Yeah, it's this one, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's just not related in the MR. It's not listed as an MR for this one. Is why I didn't get. All right.
The last comment received their own issue and is linked to the re-architecture epic.
In your discussions with Chinnu, and I'll ask him when I have my one-on-one with him tonight, do you think this will close before the 17th or by the 17th. All right. I'll follow up. Allow additional method gathering web.
I did not finish that. Like, I was focusing on completely different stuff.
Yep. And this one, Chinnu is working on with the community contributor. So I will talk to him tonight. Is that one listed twice? It is listed twice.
So about track middleware, it's not gonna be finishing this milestone.
It's not?
No, this one not. He was working with the community contributor. It did go like quite complex because of the log rates. So I think that this is like the summary. This one. This is like the summary of the next steps for this issue.
Okay.
For this issue and for this actually work from the community contributor. If anyone wants to read that later.
All right. Chronic duration work, Alexi.
This is merged, just need to be closed when it will be released, I guess on I don't know, like on our release date. We'll check that we won't receive any exceptions and entry related to this and could close it.
Is that
and Unicorn worker, sorry, what?
On the chronic duration, is that something we need to add any kind of testing for or have maybe nailed?
No, I guess that's just with our policy that we shouldn't close the issue until it is released on production. So that's
okay.
why. And about workers, I'm working on it and we discussed it with Camille. We have some strategy to try. It will involve 2 merge requests, one into GM, another into our project. And I guess the first one is close to be merged and the second one is kind of semi-ready. So I guess tomorrow I will push it to review, or maybe today, when the first one will be released and the version of the GM will be bumped by contributor Ben or Stan.
Okay. And Andreas, I know we didn't cover any of your issues because I didn't look at them before. Or they were probably just moved over recently, right? Any topics you want to cover, Andreas? Anything you might need help with from the team?
Well, no, I'm just, I guess I'm wrapping up this week with one lingering issue I still have with Infra, and then I'm all yours.
That's a nice guy. All right. Going back to the milestone board. So I have 12.4 pretty well lined up in the order of priority. I need to review it with product management first to make sure this makes sense, but it's basically a carryover of the work that we've done before. And I will, anything that we carry over from this milestone, I'll put at the top since they are likely to be in flight and high priority. Still continuing to work on project import and export, improving memory and CPU usage there. And then starting to pick up some Sidekick tasks. And then at the bottom, we still have the CPU and memory intensive endpoints. Those will probably slip over if we are full on 12.4.
So I think that like we have this, for example, at the bottom, there is consider ways to reduce log contention. I think that with Andreas, we should focus on that with a little higher priority. Andreas, do you agree?
Yes, I agree. I think we have an actionable insight there. There might be more to it, but starting on that is really a good idea.
Because there is like, it creates quite severe contention on the processing of the Sidekick jobs, and it's gonna explode. We just don't know yet when, the next time.
Yeah, it already hit us hard on GitLab.com, so fixing that should have an impact.
And then last couple of times we've had these meetings, we've talked about weights. So again, do we want to like ping the memory channel whenever you add a weight to an issue to get feedback from folks about their thoughts on the weights?
Should we, like the next time, have the list of the issues prepared like 1 week later, and like on this meeting before like the kickoff, kind of discuss these issues and the weights and what is the assignment?
So
because like right now it seems that like now we should be concluding what we should be working on, and it seems that like it's gonna be shifted by 1 week. So it seems like the next time we should probably have like this waiting happen somewhere like between the previous week and this week, I guess, and then we could like get with these ideas for the assignment at this meeting.
yeah, so I guess if we had a cadence down, right, somewhere around week 2, we would say, hey, this is what's prepared for 12.4, start taking a look. And so that we come into the week 3 meeting and we can talk about the weights of all the issues. Yep. Makes sense.
So, Greg, till when we have to conclude like what we are picking for the 12.4?
Well, 12.4 starts on the 23rd. So milestones always start on the 23rd. And ideally we'd know the week before, right? So now. But I mean, this team's so interrupt driven. I haven't been super concerned about, I guess, committing to the entire milestone, because all of the 3 milestones I've been involved in, we've committed, and then about half of them become discovered. So we have an idea. We know we're going to continue with project support. We know we're going to start doing some Sidekick work. I think it's good enough direction and a grouping of issues to start with.
We have some echo, sorry, and it's hard to hear.
There's an echo. Yeah. Okay. So did everybody get that? So ideally, at this point in time, so week 3, before the 17th, we'd have a good idea what we're working on. And I think we have it, maybe not down to the individual issues, but we're so interrupt driven that I'm not super concerned about having the explicit list of issues for the milestone. So like Camille said, maybe week 2, we can start looking, seeing this is what we're going to work on for the next milestone. Please review the issues out there. They're in priority order, and about half of them ideally should be assigned to folks, and we can start adding weights to them. But we've tried weighting all of the issues in a milestone before, and I think there's some issues out there that we've weighted, a couple milestones ago that we still haven't even touched. So I get the idea of talking through all the issues and trying to add a weight to them, but it didn't work out super well last time. So I'm still in favor of adding the weights when you pick up and having folks talk about them as we pick them up. Does anybody have any thoughts besides me or Camille? Nope. All right, well, let's try adding the weights as you pick up the work and see how that works. And I will add more reminders as we go through week by week. I'll put them at the top. So all right. Any other topics for today? All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. See ya.